No rate hike for now, but no promises that another hike will not come later in the year. Welcome to RealPage Economy Express. Let's start this episode with an update on the housing sector. The latest residential construction report presents a mixed picture. On one hand, we observed a 3.8% year-over-year increase in housing completions this August. On the flip side, multifamily permits saw a substantial decrease, falling almost 18% over the same period. Moreover, the multifamily housing starts took a significant hit, plummeting 41% year-over-year. Now, such a decline underscores significant shifts in construction dynamics. Just when it seemed like we were gaining control over inflation, recent data from the Department of Labor showed that in August, inflation surged by 0.6%, marking the highest monthly increase for the year. Furthermore, core inflation, the Fed's favorite metric, climbed by 4.3% year-over-year. On a positive note, excluding housing from the CPI would yield a more modest August inflation rate of just 1%. The recent months have shown a deceleration in rent growth, a trend that, due to a lag in reporting, has yet to fully impact the CPI. Now, this suggests we might see a further reduction in inflation in the forthcoming period. Markets and investors greeted with enthusiasm Chairman Powell's announcement yesterday that the Fed has resolved to maintain the current interest rates. However, the mood was tempered when Mr. Powell hinted at more rate hikes before the year ends. As such, we'll most likely see one more 25 basis point rate hike in November. Now, it may seem that the current multifamily units under construction suggest that the recent rate hikes haven't significantly impacted our industry. However, our analysis reveals a different story. In the 12 months ending in June, there has been an average decline of approximately 50% in the volume of multifamily sales transactions across the top 50 markets. We can all understand that some of the rate hikes were necessary to combat inflation. However, Fed's delayed response to inflation forced them to implement more aggressive rate increases. But another rate hike may prove challenging for our industry to absorb. A silver lining from yesterday's FOMC's meeting is the Fed's projection of a 2.1% economic growth, essentially ruling out a recession in the upcoming 2 quarters. However, they also anticipate the unemployment rate to remain under 4% this year before slightly increasing in 2024. Perhaps more notably, the Fed does not foresee achieving its 2% inflation target until 2026. Considering how obsessed the Fed has been with a 2% inflation, we all know what that could mean in the midterm. As ever, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to our next meeting.